Hi everyone, so I'm filming the same day as another one, hence why I'm in my work clothes. So this video is going to be sort of like an update on how to sex plecos, hypostominae more precisely. So methods you didn't know about really, because there's a lot of kind of misconceptions, or I would say that sometimes it's a bit more precise, or there's better ways out there than you thought. And I would say the main thing is make sure those fish are mature. If they aren't mature, they're going to look more ambiguous. They tend to look a lot more feminine, and it's best to wait to adult size. And I say adult size to cross off being female, but then there's other things that a mature female will have. So the main thing is actually I find tubercles around the genital papilla, or the vent, so that's the bit that sticks out near the anus, and that will be yellow or green in females, and sometimes it is only slight. They can change in extent and also in number, and I only ever see this in females when they are actually at sexual maturity. I actually only choose females to breed that have these. If they have this, I won't breed them because I can't be bothered really I don't have the space to breed loads of them, to have loads of them and the caves, and I'd rather sort of move into the breeding system if they're sort of mature enough. So I tend not to risk it, but there are females that don't have these, and I might wait till they're mature, or if they're dumping eggs. These can be just, one or two around just below the vent. So the second way is odontodes. Odontodes are external teeth. So these are the hairs or hair-like features on lorcaids. And actually, I think Calicthidae have them, Trichomyceridae have them, and a wide variety of others. And these will be more extensive, larger, and generally more impressive on the males, particularly at the caudal peduncle and the pectoral fins, also at the gillipercula. I find the gillipercula not the easiest to identify them on, so I tend not to use that as much. And it's not all genera, some aren't as easy. I would say Bariancistrus is an absolute nightmare, excluding the Bariancistrus that are likely to be moved over to another genus. So that's Bariancistrus dermatoides and Bariancistrus begini. So the genera that's really easy to tell are stuff like Hypostominae, Peculatia or Procoltia, Hemiancistrus, Scobidancistrus, Pseudocanthicus, Pseudolithosus, let's think, Panaculus, that's another one. Ancistrus, not really. Trying to really think of any others. There will be. Anyway, so the next method, so this video is going to be really quick, but it's kind of like quick way to sex plecos, is genital papilla. In females it'll be U-shaped, and in males it'll be V-shaped. I find this really difficult because the V is kind of like that, and the U is like that, or that. So it's really difficult. And they can change the shape of their vent. If you are looking at their vent, they do tend to just move it around, and it's like, great, helpful. And females tend to be wider than males, especially when gravid. I find this a really difficult method to use actually, because males can be really plump too. Like looking at mine, well, all my Bariancistrus, I know those two are male. This one's too young. But you'd almost say, well, that's male, it's a bit too young really. But there's a lot of them where males can be plump if they're really greedy. Heads on males tend to be wider, a lot more broad, and I'll get good photos of that. Other things, behaviour I would say is no different. Both are equally as territorial. Males, when mature, will stick in a cave longer, but they have to be really mature enough to breed. I'm not sure if males can actually breed younger than females. I would assume so. Eggs are a lot costlier to make, so the female will need to be bigger, more energy, more stronger to actually produce them. And that is kind of, there's loads of individual features depending on the actual genus or species. I tend to use particularly the tubercles as a precise method, just because I find it on females it's really reliable, and on males I use the odontodes. And literally what I do is I place them in a tank with a cave. The water is generally soft, it's acidic, it's warm, which isn't always ideal for all species, but it's a system, so I can't change it. And they do tend to spawn, especially hypans. Hypancistrus are insanely difficult, insanely easy to breed, I found. They don't take as long to reach adult, their adult age, adult size. And what I found is I'm breeding Hypostominae because customers don't want adults, they want juveniles, because juveniles are more pretty and adult coloration goes, so they leave the ones that are breedable, and once they are breedable I put them together and I get loads of babies. So yeah, and so I would say if you're looking to breed, don't look past the tanks in stores which have uglyish looking examples, because those are likely to be most breedable, which is what I found with Hypostominae. I'm trying to be pernaclus, and I gave up on Peccatia because they weren't taking the bait, even though the females are mature enough. Oh, they're disgusting, a little tantrum. I've got breeding. Well, they were a spawning pair, but I don't think they want to spawn at the moment. Well, there should be two in there, but they keep... It's sickness, they just break up and get back together all the time. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.